This video is part one of a multi-part series featuring a keel guard for the Native Titan X 12.5. It's a DIY project, and I wanted to show what I use to do this. To prep the kayak, we're going to need fine grit sandpaper or a sponge like this one. You're going to need thick leather gloves to protect your hands, otherwise you might burn them while holding the Kydex in place during forming. 10 snips, they work really well at cutting the Kydex. You can also use a jigsaw, bandsaw, or possibly a Dremel, but go slow because the Kydex melts if the blade is too hot. Marine goop is useful for waterproofing your kayak and securing the keel guard. You'll find that many people on YouTube recommend this, but just be aware that it takes time to set. This is pure acetone. We use this to clean and prep the kayak before and after sanding. If you use any wax or sealant, it's extremely important. I got this heat gun for 20 bucks off of Amazon. You can get them at Harbor Freight, Walmart, pretty much anywhere. Next up are some disposable gloves to protect your hands from the goop. It does get messy, so you'll want to wear something like this. Now we have a .080 Kydex, rough on one side, smooth on the other. This is what we're going to use to build the keel guard. Wanted to show what happens when you put the heat in one spot for too long. It gets shiny. If you see this, you need to move your heat gun. Obviously, I've already cut my keel guard out, did the stencil. I'll show that a little bit more in a different video. You can see here, I have tape holding it down because you can see as it cools, it does try to pop back into shape. Here, as you can see, here's the inside of the keel guard. It's a little shiny on this side. So Kydex has that. It has, and you see this on pretty much every piece of kayak. It has a kind of like a rougher side, and then it has the smoother side. I'm using the smoother side to glue it down because it's not as textured, so I won't have as many issues with the the texture is not adhering. So one thing I am going to change on this keel guard is to have these points. And I did it because I cut it from end to end. This is actually a 24-inch sheet of Kydex. It's .080 millimeters thick, and I want to believe it was 12 inches wide. So I can use it for a couple different pieces on the kayak. But I wanted to make it longer because, as you see this keel, it really kind of, it's all the way here, but I was noticing scratches all the way back here. And as you see this angle here, it is something that rubs all the way back up to there. So, but the vast majority of the scratches, you see this is very deep. Kind of rough up where we're gonna glue. So we rough it up a little bit, not too much, right? You just wanna kind of get it just a little bit smooth. Boom and boom, it's all good to go. So now we see that it's a little bit smoother. Then we're gonna take our acetone. We're gonna just clean this all off. To have to, kind of reshape this a little bit, not too bad actually. And then what I'm gonna do is, I don't like the sharp points, I mentioned them earlier, but I'm gonna just kind of round it off a little bit, round it off on the other side. The reason being is sharp points catch on things. Things get underneath the sharp points. Rounded stuff, that it's a little bit harder. Everything, since I went a little narrow here, what I'm thinking is gonna overhang a little bit. But if I did dig into the sand a little bit, this part right here isn't really protected. So what I think I might do is just create, with my excess over there, just create like a little puck that will fit on either side of this. I haven't decided yet, we're gonna see. The other option is buy another piece of Kydex and do it again. That's the cool thing about this is you can remove this, add it back on, not a big deal.